Hello new pickler and welcome to the big pickleball adventure. The only problem is you're doing it all wrong. Can you see that Titan pickleball machine over there? Well, now you probably can now that I've pointed it out to you, whereas before you could not see it. It's the exact same thing when you're starting out in pickleball. You make a ton of mistakes and you don't notice that you're making the mistakes. You don't know what you're doing wrong until someone like myself points it out to you. In this video in specific, I'm going to be breaking down 5 pickleball mistakes that every single beginner makes. And once you stop doing these mistakes, you're going to start winning. So, without further ado, let's open the playbook. Beginner mistake number 1, and don't skip over this, this is probably the most important thing, is that you do not drill as a beginner. You should be drilling just as much as you are playing. I don't suggest you drill more than you play because then it's not as fun, but drilling can absolutely be fun, which we'll talk about in just a second. If you don't know what drilling is where you either get out with you and a partner, you and a ball machine, or you and a wall, and you're just going to be hitting against that wall, getting reps in. Drilling in comparison to playing in rec, you're going to get a whole lot more reps in while you're drilling than when you're playing in rec. While you're drilling, you're probably going to hit 1,000 balls, 1,000 of the same exact ball as well. But when you're out playing recreation games with your friends and family and stuff like that, you're probably going to hit 5 to 10 of that same ball. So you're not improving as quickly as you want to be just simply because you're not getting those reps in, and that's where drilling comes in, and drilling can absolutely be fun. There's singles drills and there's doubles drills. So if you're a singles player, it's going to be you versus your opponent, one-on-one, and it's full court. So when you're doing singles drills, you obviously want to practice utilizing the entire court. That's going to help you to get better. An example of a singles drill would be this player is on the baseline, okay, back here. The other player is on the service line, and this player has to cover the entire court while that player only has to cover half of the court. So I have to hit every ball back to them. That will really help improve your singles game. Very basic singles drill. An example of a doubles drill would be we just utilize the skinny court is what it's called. So just half of the court. There are 4 specific positions. So this is the right side of the court, and that's my opponent's right side of the court. That's one position. Down the line here, that's another position. Another position would be down the line here, just on this half of the court. And then the last position, the 4th position, is odd side to odd side, from this position to that position, or left side to left side, as some people call it. So a basic drill for doing that in the doubles, to practice doubles, would be we would be hitting ground strokes back and forth, trying to maybe get to 10 in a row without missing. That helps you to get in 1,000 reps really, really quick if 10 is a challenging number. If 10's too easy, then try to go 15. Like I said, very basic drill. If you want more advanced drills and fun drills so that it can make your trainings fun, I invented the Pickleball Drills app. I actually invented it because people were asking me what I was doing in my drilling routine to make it to the 5.5 plus level. And so I created an app, has hundreds of drills, all the drills that I like to do that have improved my game. So if you want to check that out, I will link it here, and I'll also link it at the top of the description, and you can check it out. But drilling is absolutely essential if you want to improve your game because you're going to get a whole lot more reps in when you drill as compared to when you don't drill. So again, if you need help figuring out what drills to do, how to get started, hop on that app. It has beginner drills, intermediate drills, and advanced drills. Okay, big mistake number 2 that beginners do is they just do things to do them. They were taught to dink, so they just start dinking, okay? They don't know why, they don't know what the purpose is behind it. They were taught to drop, so then they just start hitting drops. So they're taught to drive and they drive. They don't know when to drive versus when to drop. What it really comes down to is if I am behind the baseline, my entire goal is going to be to get forward. So the reason that I'm dropping the ball is to make it up to the net. The reason that I dink is to get pop-ups from my opponents. So if you want to know the reason for each and every stroke, I actually created just a simple free PDF you guys can check out. Super simple, please go read it. It's 1 page long. Take the time. It's going to take you all of 5 minutes. You can go read it, and it's going to really advance your level automatically by just helping you see why you do what you do, why you volley, why you hit overheads, why you do something called resetting or hitting the ball soft, why you're dinking. Because something that I'm asked all the time, especially by beginner players, is, hey, Austin, I was watching a pro match the other day, and I saw that these pros, not beginners, are hitting the ball really soft back and forth to each other. I just don't understand why they don't just hit it hard at each other. That will answer that question, but just to answer that one simply because it's the most asked question, is if you hit the ball hard when you're up at the net to your opponent and the ball is low, you can only hit it up because the net is in the way. You have to hit it up from there. So keeping that in mind, if you hit it up, you're first of all either going to hit the ball long, or second of all, you're going to pop the ball up for your opponent to hit down on the ball. So that's why you don't just want to speed up every single shot. There are specific shots that you want to speed up and attack, and there's other shots that you don't want to. It's easier said than done. That PDF will really, really help you guys to understand the game of pickleball and why you do what you do. Let's move on to the next step. Really quick before we head on into step number 3, check out my new Pickleball Overgrips. I just barely came out with these. But I just barely came out with these. They're to help you to keep your grip. Some people won't use overgrips. They end up getting a really nasty undergrip, and then their hand slips off the paddle constantly. They don't even realize, but their grip is changing. So overgrips are absolutely essential. I'm not saying just specifically get mine. Make sure that you're using overgrips first of all. If you want to get mine, 10% off code Playbook 10 at checkout. That'll get you 10% off. Tons of different colors. These aren't all of them. I tried to make an overgrip that's extra tacky, as well as something that's very absorbent and lasts a long time. And I think that I accomplished that. So I hope that you guys really enjoy them. Again, don't feel obligated to buy these ones. Buy any overgrip, just make sure that you use one. Okay, that brings us to beginner mistake number 3. And this is a mistake that I see all the time, even when beginners understand the rule. And I'm gonna tell you what that rule is now. But they rush the net. Okay, that's the mistake. They'll serve and they'll come here. And now they're ready for that ball to come back. Problem with that is, for those of you that don't know the rule, which majority of you probably do, that ball that your opponent returns has to bounce on your side of the court before you can hit it. Meaning you can't come serve, come up and hit that next ball out of the air. It absolutely has to bounce before you can. So I'm not saying they rush the net in the sense of they're not serving and volleying and running forward, but they rush as in they're hanging out inside this back line, the baseline. They're hanging out in here. Okay, ready for that ball to come back. The problem with this position is that your opponent can easily hit the ball here, and now the point's over because you have to let the ball bounce. So what you want to do instead is a specific sequence of footwork. You're going to serve, you can step in, and you actually want to, because you want to be closer to your target. It's going to put the ball on your opponent quicker. Serve, step in, and then you're going to step back out with a split step. Okay, just like that. This is a split step. I'm simply splitting my feet apart, stopping my momentum. That's going to allow my eyes to be able to track the ball. If I'm moving, my eyes can no longer track the ball. Makes it extremely difficult. So that split step is going to be absolutely essential to getting you back. One more thing to note is that I serve, split step back, and notice I'm a few feet off of the baseline. I'm not directly on it, because if they hit the baseline here with the ball, automatically puts me in defense. Whereas if they hit the baseline and I'm back here, I'm totally fine. I can easily transition forward to a more optimal position, which is where I want to be. Beginner mistake number 4 is that you hit the ball way too hard. A lot of you will hear that and just think, what's this guy talking about? Like, you can't hit the ball hard enough in pickleball. And what I mean by that is you're hitting 100% on your drives. You're also up at the kitchen line and you're speeding everything up. You're not dinking. You're not hitting it soft to set yourself up. Again, check out that PDF, that free PDF. That'll explain why you dink, why you want to dink when you're up at the kitchen. It'll set you up, stuff like that. But if you're hitting your drives at 100%, like so many beginners do, the chances of you consistently hitting that ball in, that was slightly long. I mean, I almost hit it in still at 100%. The chances of you hitting that consistently in are extremely slim, and you're gonna lose so many points just by unforced errors. Obviously, as a beginner, you're playing against other beginners and they'll probably end up hitting the ball and saving you. But that's not helping you to become a better player, because as soon as you play with better players, they're just gonna go out, move out of the way, okay? So in order for you to practice this, you need to take that 100 down to 70%, 70% power. So I'm here, and now I'm 70% power. I'm still swinging through the ball, but it's gonna be a whole lot more consistent, and you'll be surprised at how hard it is for your opponents to return that ball, okay, even at 70%. Because it's so consistent and you're hitting the correct location, it's extremely difficult for them to return the ball. Even at 70%, plus you're way more consistent with it, you're gonna come out on top of a whole lot more points. So the last thing to note with this, and this is the most important part about this, is that when I'm hitting 70%, a lot of people might think that I'm decelerating, okay? I wanna make sure that I'm always accelerating. Decelerating is where I'm slowly going slower. As I hit through the ball, I'm pushing, I'm apprehensive. That's what losers do, okay? They get really touchy with the ball and they just push it. You want to accelerate still. So I'm still swinging, but I'm just not swinging as hard as I can. I'm still going from slow to fast as I hit through the ball. So what that would look like, slow, fast. I'm hitting through the ball. I'm not going slow, fast, as hard as I can. It's gonna go out every time. Yes, it's fun, but what's more fun is hitting the ball in and winning the point. Beginner mistake number 5 is that you do not dink. You have to learn how to dink. And you might think that dinking is stupid in the beginning. I know that I did. I sped up every single ball. I came from tennis and I was just like, I'm just gonna beat these guys with power. Then I played against a 4.5 player and they absolutely demolished me. They stopped me from my progression. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll learn how to dink. As you'll see, if you're a beginner and you don't have a racket sport background, it's gonna be really challenging to get to that next level, to that intermediate 4.0, 3.5 level, if you don't learn how to dink and dink consistently, okay? There's tons of different kinds of dinks that you'll see, especially with the pros. They'll be doing topspin dinks, they'll be doing push dinks, they'll be doing underspin dinks. All that you need to learn as a beginner and all that you should learn and absolutely get amazing at is push dinks. A push dink is essentially where you're just coming under the ball and you're just slightly lifting. Your motion is gonna stay extremely small as you hit through the shot so that you can consistently hit the ball every single time. And here is a very specific tip so that you can have a consistent push dink every single time. First of all, it comes down to the grip. You wanna hold a continental grip. The way that you're gonna find that, you're gonna turn your paddle to its butt, just like this. And you can see that it has this 8-sided shape, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can count. This is the top bevel. You wanna go 1 over from there towards your dominant side. That bevel right there is your bevel. As you can see, it comes all the way up through here. What you wanna do is put the bottom, the backside, can't speak English, right here, where I'm pointing to, and right here on that bevel. Okay, so act like I'm drawing a Sharpie from here to here. On that bevel, number 2, right here, bevel number 2. I'm going to put my knuckle and the bottom of my palm on that bevel number 2. Now that I'm in that position, I'm in the perfect continental grip so that my paddle face is perfectly up and down to where I turn my forearm open, or I guess this would be closed. I hit a backhand, I turn it open, I hit a forehand. And then you're gonna finish by pointing the tip of your paddle towards where you wanna go. A lot of beginners will dink and they'll finish with their paddle way up here. And that's why the ball pops up. And that's why so many beginners just neglect the dink and say, I don't need to do that, I'll just speed up the ball. And then they never progress, they never get to that next level. So you wanna finish by pointing the tip of your paddle towards where you wanna go, okay? If I wanna go cross court, I finish by pointing the tip of my paddle cross court. Now note that it's this outside edge tip of the paddle, kind of nearer the top, that you're gonna be pointing towards where you wanna go whenever you're going cross court. So I'm here and I point it. That's where I wanna go, I don't wanna go up. I'm not pointing up here, I also don't wanna go down. So that motion has to finish right there. That will really improve the consistency of your dink, help you to become a consistent dinker, learn the push dink, perfect the push dink, and then you'll be just soaring through the levels. And then you can learn other dinks, okay, more advanced dinks, but that doesn't come until, honestly, 5.0, 4.5, 5.0 level, where you'll be learning like a top spin dink and getting that consistent. Start with those push dinks, it'll really pay off down the road. Okay, my beginner friends, I hope that you enjoyed that. If this was helpful, be sure to subscribe. I upload new content just like this all the time. If you are in need of a drilling partner, maybe you don't have a friend that wants to get out and drill with you, get the Titan ball machine. It's the closest thing to an actual drilling partner. It can hit you balls in different locations. Every ball is in a different location. It's absolutely incredible. Be sure to check it out. You can get $100 off through my link, top of the description. I'll put it in there. And other than that, I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next one.